So Tracey, like in your view, what has been like the biggest change in digital marketing since you've been in it?
Oh man, I think the biggest change is really how like corporate brands leverage regular people.
Like, can you give us like an example, like who's doing it?
Well, any major brand. I mean, you look at, let's say, like a Sprite.
Okay.
Or a Nike. I'll say Nike because like Michael Jordan. So they went to Michael Jordan before he even started playing. He was just recruited.
How do you think emerging technologies like AI are impacting digital marketing?
The good thing is that we don't have to work so hard. It's not about not working, but it's about not doing so much heavy lifting and time efficiency. So I think time, it helps with that. It helps with even just pooling information together that I wouldn't have known anyway. Things that I don't like so much, I don't like the deep fake.
Ain't that so scary?
Yeah.
Check me. We live in our phones, but what if we can make them? Got every app in the world, where's the participation? Looking for representation. Don't overlook the pavement, Silicon Valley was patient. So join the movement, we ain't got too much time to be wasted. Get involved with the tech revolution. I said it's deeper than cold. Get involved with the tech revolution. Vibe with me. Opportunity. Yeah, it's deeper than cold.
Hey guys, and welcome back to It's Deeper Than Code. I'm Shelby.
And I'm Big Papa Code.
And today, guys, we have a special guest. Let's get into it. Today, we're diving into the world of internet marketing and personal branding with insights from a true industry pioneer. Our guest today is Tracey Walker, a veteran in the digital marketing space who has witnessed the evolution of online platforms and technologies. From the early days of Web 2.0 to the emerging influence to AI, Tracey has mastered the art of building magnetic brands that resonate with the audience. Guys, give a great hand clap to our special guest, Miss Tracey Walker.
Yay. Thank you guys for having me.
And no problem. Thanks for being here.
I'm glad you could be here.
For sure.
Great. So Tracey, let's get started. Tell us about your story and what do you do in digital marketing?
Okay. So I got started in digital marketing really back in 2008. And that was purely after having a successful real estate investment company that kind of stumbled and crashed and burned after the market did a tumble and fall. Okay. And I started in network marketing around 2007. And I realized that I was not the person to run around to a bunch of hotel meetings and home parties and showing up in people's houses. And so in 2008, I came to the internet really just to see how I could duplicate myself. And if I could put myself on a video doing a presentation, I just wanted to send that to people. And that was really my introduction to digital marketing.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. We know about them hotel parties.
Because what's the hotel party like?
Well, at the end of the day, you'll have like somebody do a presentation. A bunch of people will invite people to a hotel and and do the presentation live. And then,
it's like a timeshare thing.
Not a timeshare thing, but, in the hotel conference room.
They don't have them no more?
People still do them.
Okay, I want to go to the next one.
You want to go to one?
There's tons.
Yeah, there's plenty to choose from.
Okay, great. So would you say like after being into the real estate and stuff, that's what drew you to the market of going into marketing?
Well, I was already in marketing as a whole. I have a master's degree in marketing.
Oh, okay.
So from a collegiate experience, I have a business background.
Okay.
And so corporate marketing was kind of my angle. Initially, I wanted to climb the corporate ladder and be like a chief marketing officer for some Fortune 500 company. And my first year out of grad school, working corporate, I was like, no, absolutely not.
Okay, cool. So what was the transition like coming out of corporate?
I was laid off.
Okay.
I was laid off early after September the 11th. Oh. And that was kind of at an intersection where I was really learning real estate. Okay. And I was going to these conferences here in Atlanta after getting off work. So I would work 12-hour shifts, which I hated, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then on the days that I worked 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., I would go to conferences from 8 to 5. Oh. And I would learn about how to flip real estate and how to do those types of lease options and all that type of stuff. And so I was working part-time doing the real estate. And when I got laid off, I was able to just transition right into what I really wanted to do, which was real estate.
Yeah, that's cool. Talk about hustle and bustle.
Exactly.
Like,
no sleep.
Did you do short sales at all?
I did. We were master short sale negotiators.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I did that too from like end of 2005 to like 2008. And then, then like the market kind of did some stuff. And then it was like,
What's master short sales?
Well, it's when people are facing foreclosure, we're able to go in and help them negotiate with their mortgage company and potentially relieve them of the home being foreclosed. They still have to move out, but we could take over the property, we could renovate it, we could sell it, we could lease it, we could do whatever. And back then, we were good with like the double closings. So we could find our buyers before we actually sold, and we could double close on the same day. So we could sell it and buy it and make $90,000. That was what we were doing. Legally, morally, ethically.
They don't do that no more?
I'm sure people do. But after the crash, I was burned.
Okay.
So I didn't want to do that. So that's why I made the shift. And I'm like, I've got to do something different.
Okay. So what was the digital landscape like when you first started, and how did it shape your approach to building a brand?
Girl, in 2008, it was MySpace. So Tom, right? So MySpace. And I think at that time, it was really a lot of the musicians and bands and that niche of people were on there. But as marketers, we figured out that we could still leverage MySpace, but we just used it more from what we used to call my story marketing. And we would, build communities on MySpace. And that was the landscape. I mean, blogging was what was popping then. I got really good at blogging. And that was it, building a list. Those are my main things. That was my only goal, was to use MySpace to meet people and then get them onto my list.
Did you have any challenges while doing it?
Not really challenges. I mean, it was new. I didn't know how to garner an audience, right? I didn't know all this authenticity that we talk about now. I mean, that's all it was then. It was no extra influential type of things. Nobody was trying to be somebody that they were not. It was just go on here, tell your story, and hopefully try to, navigate and connect with other people who were looking to just make money online. Because that was like the big niche, make money online.
Yeah. Okay, good.
That was like at the beginning, and I was one of those people on your list.
Were you?
Yeah. So I definitely saw your stuff then. I saw like there was a video. Man, I'm trying to remember, but I still remember it in the back of my head. And when I was first looking to do stuff more online, because I'd already been making websites and stuff like that. I was making people's MySpaces. And I ended up, for a lot of people that were like internet marketers and were network marketers, like they needed somebody to like develop stuff for them.
That's correct.
And so, and then, WordPress started to get big. So they kept coming to me to like build the stuff. I was like, yo, y'all making money. Like, what are y'all doing over there? And so that made me start to look in like a couple of people that like I had, built stuff for. Like you came up a couple times.
Yeah. So
then I was like, oh, snap. Yeah. And then also it's like, oh, is she black too? Look at that.
Hey,
our people.
Yeah. So, so I saw your material like way, way back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you.
Archaic. Yes.
If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing a bunch of the stuff I'm doing now. So.
That's right.
Oh, look at that. So Tracey, like in your view, what has been like the biggest change in digital marketing since you've been in it?
Oh man, I think the biggest change is really how like corporate brands leverage regular people. That didn't really exist back then. I mean, people, when I was in maybe early college, like some internships, I worked at different advertising agencies. And so I would see how these big brands would hire an advertising agency. I mean, people still do it now, obviously. And they would pay $1 million for a 30-second spot for a Super Bowl or whatever it was. And that was the main focus, was mass media. Well, once digital marketing really started to grow, it was rampant that they realized, well, wait a minute, the people that we want already have the people that we want. Right? And they build relationships. They have a loyalty. They have a following. And so if we could get this one person to make a recommendation, our advertising dollars would more than likely go a lot further. And then we wouldn't even have to pay as much right, per 30 seconds. I mean, they could spread $1 million out over numerous influencers and have massive impact. So that would be one of the main things that I see from a corporate standpoint is brands still put it out there, but they're really leveraging people who've built audiences around whatever that topic or that product or service is.
All right, can you give us an example, like who's doing it?
Well, any major brand. I mean, you look at, let's say, like a Sprite.
Okay.
Or a Nike. I'll say Nike because like Michael Jordan, right? Most people know who Michael Jordan is. So they went to Michael Jordan before he even started playing. He was just recruited. And they made this deal and the whole Air Jordan, and he was able to sell Air Jordan as a result of his performance in his career. right? Had nothing to do with him having a social audience. It had nothing to do with him making money outside. Well, he did make money.
Right.
But the point was just go play basketball, wear these shoes, and sales started to come in because he was the primary person.
Okay.
Now, you don't even have to play basketball. You don't even have, I mean, there's a ad on Instagram right now, and there's this guy, and he's like, hey, these brands pay me millions of dollars to play golf, and I can barely swing a driver or something like this, right? And I'm like, so the man can't even play golf.
Yeah.
But the brand is paying him to put on the golf stuff and swing the clubs. Why? Because he has an audience of people that are more likely to buy something that's related to golf. And I think that is the major shift. You don't have to do the thing. Just do you know our buyers?
Okay.
And if you do, we can leverage you.
That is so cool. That's really cool. So how do you think emerging technologies like AI are impacting digital marketing today?
I think it's helping good ways.
Okay.
But it's
You can tell
also
us bad
some
ways
not so
too.
good ways
Yeah, you
too.
can tell
We want to hear the bad.
Yeah,
too.
be honest here. Like, welcome home.
Yeah. So the good thing is that we don't have to work so hard. I like an easy type of life, right?
Yeah.
I'm a mom. I'm a single mom. So I do have to work. It's not about not working, but it's about not doing so much heavy lifting and time efficiency.
Yeah.
So if I could leverage, let's say, a chat GPT to type in a prompt and it give me 10 video hooks that I can create Instagram reels around, I'd rather that happen in 30 seconds than for me to sit there and ponder and waste 2, 3, 4 hours trying to come up with it from my own mind.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I think time, it helps with that. It helps with even just pooling information together that I wouldn't have known anyway.
Yeah.
Being able to scan like the whole internet and come back with something and then tell it, I want you to say it the way Tracey would say it because it can scan my content and know how I communicate with my audience. I think that's really good, right? And then you can still always take it and edit it and make it more yours.
Yeah.
So I like that. Things that I don't like so much, I don't like the deep fake.
Ain't that so scary?
Yeah, so those apps that let you take your face, like you take a picture and then they can put your face like on
like
Wonder
it.
Woman, right?
I don't like
or
Yeah.
Austin Powers or somebody.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, wait now. You've got my face now and you could do whatever with my face that you want to do with my face and my voice. Even a lot of the AI technology that, you can put your voice over your videos. Again, it's good for time, but I'm a little leery. I'm a little nervous sometimes because I don't necessarily want my voice on whatever you come up with.
And the fact that the tech guru just said you should be
you should be.
Don't say that.
But remember, that's why I'm working on Monetosphere right now.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of that to allay your fears. I'm working on something.
Oh, thank you.
So basically,
so good.
the way that the application that we're making is supposed to work is, let's say, for example, you want to use deepfake technology for yourself, right?
Okay.
For your brand, because you want to multiply yourself. What you can do is you can basically use our platform to say what content actually originally came from you.
Okay.
And stamp it that way. And I'll just say stamp because it's the easy way to talk about it, not talk about cryptography.
Okay.
But we do a cryptographic thing so that if anybody takes your likeness and uses it somewhere else and it's not you, they can go back and go to your profile and run it in and say, did this come from you? And if it didn't, well, then there you go. Then they know it's not true. So we're trying to create a place where that can happen all the time. And it's be free for the person checking, but the person that uses it, it'd be a really small nominal fee. I've been working on like $4.99 a month or whatever. But yeah, so nothing expensive. But at the end of the day, if you make thousands and thousands of pieces of content, we can say that these are the ones that are yours, whether it's you really being in front of the camera or it's deep fake technology or it's, some generative thing, et cetera. But you can say this content really truly originated from me. And if it's not that, then somebody will know that it's inaccurate. Okay. And we have, use some zero knowledge proof stuff to take care of all that process. So we're working on that now.
That's so good.
Do you know the legality behind using like AI stuff in digital marketing? Because you see on like quick drop shipping, like fast turnaround, people using a lot of AI or deep fakes in ads and stuff. But from a bigger brand perspective, what is the like legality of these brands using other people's content to generate, branded content for themselves? Is there like a legality issue that's coming, or is there anything in place right now maybe? Do you know anything about that? Because there's like, from an artist perspective, there's a huge pushback on commercially used AI content because that content comes from all these artists who already have put content out there.
Well, I would say that most of these different apps, they have these terms of service where when you upload your content, you're really giving them permission to redistribute or reuse whatever it is that you upload on there. And so it may be a free app, but if you agree, then there you go. Now, in reference to, let's say, a big brand, I would assume that a big brand would have some sort of negotiation or contract in place to secure that. But we can't control what Billy Joe is doing and on his own social media platform,
Right.
But brands, I think brands I would hope they would put something in place.
You got to read those terms of service because,
Right.
did you see the thing about the guy with Disney Plus? That the guy, he went to a Disney park, right?
Yeah, went to the park, and the wife got sick because of her allergies or something. She ended up passing away.
Yes.
Yeah, but because he agreed to a Disney Plus
terms of service, they said that he couldn't sue because it's in the Disney Plus terms of service that you can't sue Disney. That's wild,
and it has
right?
nothing to do with Disney. The wife getting sick.
That's the first time we knew the same thing.
Yeah, that was good.
I could finish your sentence. That's good. So great. So yeah, because he agreed to the terms on Disney Plus, where we watch TV and movies at. That's it. The wife goes to Disney World, gets sick. She told them she had an allergy. They still gave her the food or something. She was allergic. They still gave it to her. She ended up passing away. And he couldn't sue Disney because of Disney Plus.
Yeah, they had to go to arbitration.
I bet they did.
Yeah, they had to go to arbitration. He couldn't just bring him to court. So I think he did get something, but he couldn't
On Disney.
Yeah, he could.
Because what they would have had a Shelby park. Okay, like a Shelby World would have been inside of Disney World. Is shit like that went down.
Yeah,
for sure. That is crazy.
Going off what you said about the golfers, though, too, have you guys heard of Michaela, the Instagram influencer?
No.
So she isn't real. And she has, hold on, let me switch.
I've seen.
Pull her up.
So she has 2.5 million Instagram followers.
And I think she says, hey, I'm not real or something like that.
And she's a completely fake character, but this page you can see already all the branded content. Like all these brands will pay this person who's not even a person, it's a character, to promote their brands, and she's not even real.
Can I please click on one?
Yeah,
so I can see how real and fake this really is.
Some of them look better than others.
Right.
But I think part of the thing is she doesn't look real, but the clothes are real.
The clothes are real?
That's probably what they would be selling. They could swap out her clothes for, let's say, a Fashion Nova clothes, for example, or sunglasses. They could put sunglasses on her head or on her face.
See, the more and more I look at it, I'm like, see, that's why I got to make my
And there's a handful of these kind of, content creators. She has a whole little gang
of Atia something.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. She'll do collabs with them, and she'll post with these other, and then they even get her with real people. I don't even know if that's a real person, honestly. But sometimes they put her with people.
And she's with 50 Cent right here.
Right.
Wait, but she's with 50 Cent, bro. Look at that.
On the low quality phone picture, they got her with 50. It's crazy.
Did he comment on that? I would love to see if he commented on that. To be I was not there. Because we know he is a bully.
Yeah, he's a troll.
Hey, where's my money? Run that.
Run that check.
I need my money. I'm about to send him a DM and send that to him and be so he could ask for money. His money by Monday.
She'll do videos, and the videos don't look as good.
For sure.
Yeah, the videos.
Hear that? No. That was nice.
And that's just one, because there's others, right? That
there's a lot of AI
There's different ones,
influencers.
That's crazy.
There's people selling courses on how to make AI influencers right now.
Of course.
That's crazy. What do we do about people that's not AI, that's taking people's pictures and putting it on the internet?
What do you mean? You mean catfishes?
Oh, okay. That's
that's
happening now.
Happening from the
She's
beginning of
back
time.
at it again.
The catfish is back?
She's
oh
back.
my gosh.
Well, stay off the dating sites, I would say.
I'm not on dating sites.
Well-
and she has me on every lesbian dating site you could think of.
Oh.
If you watching this, take this too. Because she's taking my videos. Anyway, you got that, Zach? You're good? You got any more questions?
No, I'm good.
And we have
thank you.
Zach on here, by the way, guys. Say hi to Zach.
Just in
We
case you
still
forgot.
did it again.
Yep.
We didn't introduce
Yep.
him again.
Well, you got to introduce Zach now.
I mean, they heard us. Zach is here, okay? Zach is here. So what excites you the most about the future of digital marketing and where it stands?
Teaching my son. Really?
Nice.
That's what excites me because he's 10. He plays sports. He plays flag football. He's really a baseball star, though. But his school is an entrepreneurship pillared type of school.
Oh, that's nice.
And I actually had homework. I'll get back to this in a second. I actually had homework. They're reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad in the 5th grade.
Ooh,
They're reading Rich Dad, Poor
I'm
Dad in the
definitely going to
5th
ask you
grade.
what school he goes to as soon as we get off this camera because I'm putting my baby there.
Yes, it's a private school.
That's perfect.
Yes. Okay. So I had 2 worksheets. It was like 3 questions for 9 chapters. And I had to answer each of these questions like essay form. I can just, I did it handwritten so that he can turn it back in to his teacher in reference to financial literacy, in reference to fear of failure and success, right? Assets, liabilities, a balance sheet, that whole thing, right? So digital marketing is something that I feel like for him, because he's so technologically aware, our children at 10 years old, I know your daughter's 4. I mean, they grew up with an iPhone in their hands.
Period, yeah.
They don't even know anything other than that.
Exactly.
So we've talked about him starting a business with streaming, right? We've talked about things that he could do, like maybe I'll hold on to what the idea is, but taking his skill set of understanding sports and being able to commentate that.
Nice,
right?
nice.
And streaming and leveraging that, right? He knows all about monetization on YouTube. He knows all about how to, he's getting really good with his CapCut edits with his own shorts and his own reels. And so really being able to show him, because from a firsthand experience, he sees me do it all the time, being able to kind of bridge that into his world where he can see a career in it and not necessarily just a hobby. If he wants it to be a hobby, fine. But I feel like in terms of generating income and from the skill set that he really already brings to the table, I feel like just enhancing that would be more of a seamless way to get into making money without going and getting a job. Like that's not really, his mom doesn't really play that.
Yeah.
So we're not doing the job thing. You can work online and create your content.
Yeah.
I'm for all that.
Yeah.
So that's the exciting thing for me.
My 12-year-old, I have a lot of kids, but my 12-year-old daughter, she's like that as well. And like when we were doing our startup before, she would ask me for like status reports on like what I was working on and stuff like that. Like, yeah, she's very, very like that. And yeah, like when it comes to like all of like things you're talking about, like making sure that like telling them about digital marketing, et cetera. My daughter's really into video games and she's really into shorts.
Yep.
So she's been experimenting with like what she can do with short form content, and she keeps coming up with plans. So she came up with I'll say the idea because it's not like other people haven't done it.
Yeah.
So her idea now is, if you've ever gone on Reddit, right? You see like there's always these stories on Reddit where like these crazy, ridiculous things happen. I might be a bad parent for letting her look at that stuff.
No, you're fine. You're great.
but it's like our little daddy daughter thing. We like we look at it and be like, look how good our life is. Look at that, which is horrible. But
That's good.
at the end of the day, what she wants to do is she wants to read them out loud and then react to them, and then have me and her say our opinion about what's happening.
I love that.
Yeah, and then make shorts for it or whatever. And so we already kind of started making the channel or whatever. But basically, she's in some honors classes right now. So I was like, okay, we can start this. So keep coming up with ones we want to do, et cetera. And we'll do it every single time there is a school vacation. We'll record some.
That's right.
And then school vacation again, and we'll record some. And then we'll start to come out with them. So y'all see it soon.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I will say this. He started this streaming and I got an email that said, we've had to delete your content because we recognize that your account, you're streaming, you're an underage account, and you do not have an adult in the background. And I didn't know that YouTube's policy is if you have a child that's streaming, the parent or some adult needs to be in the background doing something. doing something, right? And so I told him, I said, okay, well, great. He plays the video games and he watches those YouTubers that will actually record themselves playing the game and just stream it. Right. Yeah. I said, okay, well, you could do that. And I could be in the back doing my digital marketing. So I can be on the computer. I can be doing something. Yeah. I don't have to speak in it. And I don't have to be the stealing your show.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to be there.
Yeah. In case you need to know, be in the footage with your children.
I didn't even know that was a thing. So that's good to know.
The baby be live on YouTube?
No. Okay. She hasn't done it yet.
Okay. Well, we know you got to be there.
Yeah, now I know.
Yeah, that works. So
I was planning on being there anyway, but
you have to be. So on the flip side, what concerns or intrigues you about the direction of digital marketing? Like as far as like privacy concerns or anything like that?
I'm kind of easygoing. We live in a world where things are going to evolve and technology is going to evolve. I'm not a hermit and I'm not going to necessarily run and hide from every advancement in technology that may pose some sort of threat, right? So in terms of a policy or something like that, I don't know. I stay away from it. I don't know what that is. Right? Yeah. From a user perspective, as a parent and as a content creator, I think it's just important the type of content that we're putting out there more than anything, and doing your very best to provide things that are useful and valuable to others. Now, can someone take it and spin it and flip it and do something else? Yes, but with the help of your software, we'll be able to do that, the platform. But up until then, I just think using it in the best way possible, as morally and ethically as we can, I don't really have any major concerns about it. I think it's going to grow, so we need to kind of grow with it right? Versus fight against it.
Right. So do you think there are like any challenges of like maintaining authenticity, there we go, in like a crowded digital space?
I do think there's a challenge because it can be overwhelming to try to be someone you're not. Because it appears that this person has more followers or they're getting more notoriety or, they're making more money, you may think, right? But I also think that it's very important that you focus on who you're serving.
Yeah.
And be as authentic as you can with that market, that niche of people. So like for me, I speak more to moms. I speak to some dads too, but primarily moms, right? People that want to have an additional stream of income coming in from home, even if they are working corporate, because I do have that, I understand that, I have that background. But if I were, on social media glammed up all day, every time you saw me, I'm stepping out in YSL and Chanel, that wouldn't be relatable to who I'm talking to.
Right.
So I think that it's important that we just focus on who we're helping, understand that demographic.
Yes.
And just be as real as you are in your life with them and communicate that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So building trust online is more critical than ever. We just talked about that. How do you approach creating a brand that people know, like, and trust?
With a marketing background, I was always taught that a brand, most people think that a brand is like your colors or your logo, or the aesthetics of it all, your website, right? And how it scrolls or whatever it does. And I was always of the school where your brand is how people feel after they've come in contact with you. So having a brand online to me is very congruent with the authenticity because I want people to leave me better or feeling more inspired than they were when they came to me.
Right.
So that when they walk away, whether they buy something or not, whether they make a referral or not, I want them to have that good experience. So I think that building a brand online, if people focus on what a brand really is, then, you can add your creativity to it and have your logo, have your colors and have all these wonderful things. But ultimately, if you were stripped from all of that, what is it that you're left with at the base, at the core? And will people still come to you because of the value that you bring? Or is it because, they like your hot pink color?
That part. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So do you have like any strategies for engaging with like audiences for, say it again?
Authenticity.
There we go.
Strategies. I like to go live.
Okay.
I do like to go live because I talk. I think if you're going to be a person that's like in content creation, and if you're not going to be like on the graphic side of things, like if you're the face of it, you've got to be able to communicate and at least feel comfortable talking and not necessarily having to read every single thing that you're doing. So I'm that person just in general.
Yeah.
So I love going live. I like doing videos and encouraging people to leave their notes in the comments or leave their thoughts in the comments, things of that sort. Not necessarily like the home parties and things like that, but events.
Yes.
Right? Even if they're like small networking events, I think those are good, primarily because you get to network with other people who might have your people the same way as big brands do, right?
Yeah.
And so also communicating with other people on social media that are more your colleagues, more of your peers, right? And just showing that there is a level of respect for them and what they provide online, which can in turn, law of reciprocity, right? In return, they could come and check you out with things. And sometimes, you have Big Papa Code hop into your DMs or hop into your comments. Other people might know who that is and it'd be valuable, right? And people start to recognize that people do know each other, even if they're not always talking to each other.
Right.
I feel like live video, asking people to comment, that type of stuff.
Well, there's something really big that you mentioned a second ago. And I think that I really want to like hone in on that because you mentioned that that you like to go to events and things of that nature, and that you might find somebody that has your people, right? So there's like this concept from like back in the day. I was in this company. I'm gonna say the name, even though people get mad when I say the name. Amway. You know Amway. Everybody know Amway from like I was like it was like 2004 or whatever. It doesn't matter. Right. But there was one thing, the thing that I learned from there. Right. Actually, I got a good amount. Got a good motivation and stuff like that. But one thing I learned, this thing called tap rooting. Right. Right. See, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know.
So but that's not just like a network marketing thing. That's like for anybody. Like, for example, if I didn't build a relationship with Jeff, I would not have met Brylan. If I didn't meet Brylan, I could never have raised $3.5 million in venture capital, right? If I didn't meet Brylan and then raise that capital, I never would have met Jamie. I don't meet Jamie, I don't meet Chrissy. I don't meet Chrissy, I don't meet you.
What would we do without Brylan?
Exactly. Look at that. What would we do without Jeff? Without Jeff. Because I had to meet Jeff first. Yes. And then Brylan's one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
And I would not have met him any other way. And I'm saying that's just one example. Is like you find one person and, like, for example, Rich, who now is helping us bring guests on and things of that nature and get advertising for the podcast. And also he does that for any podcast. So just shameless plug for my boy, Rich Brown. He can help you get your podcast going where it needs to go in that state. But long story short, I met him through Daniel Girdle. So I meet Daniel Girdle. I meet Rich through him. And then Rich helps me do a whole bunch of stuff, right? You know what I mean? So it's like, it may not be the first level person you meet. That's correct. It might be somebody you meet there that maybe you don't even see a way that y'all can, work with something. And if I would have met you randomly, I wouldn't even thought we could do a podcast together. Yeah. I wouldn't have thought all that stuff, right?
Yeah, right. It's like it's the power of the association.
Exactly. And it could be 4 levels deep, 5 levels deep, 7 levels deep, or whatever. You don't know what you're gonna find. So I'm just glad that you mentioned that because it's just like that brought that to my mind.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So Tracey, what are you currently working on that you're excited about, and how do you see it impacting the digital marketing landscape?
Right now for me, it's about educating people, I think, more than anything. I don't think there's ever going to stop being a period in time where people are going to look to grow their income. I believe that people may not be able to control their salary, but they can control their income. And so with that, you've got to learn new skills. And I'm in that space of educating, of teaching, of speaking, and really just trying to give people bite-sized things to start with. Right. So, for example, making sure people understand that if they want to create an additional stream of income somewhere, they do not necessarily have to go and get a second or a third job. You do not necessarily have to go back to school, get another loan, spend, 8 hours a day in front of a computer to hope after you're done with these credits that someone is going to hire you because of now the additional bullet point on the resume. You could actually be learning and earning at the same time with digital marketing, and you don't have to be perfect. So I think that excites me. Another thing that I won't say I'm working on, but that I enjoy working with is, I talked about the children a little bit, right? So I'm not like a children's teacher, but because I work with moms and parents, their children are heavily, observant of what they're doing. Right. And so like the cash flow game for kids, anything that's teaching them financial literacy, anything that's working with them on digital marketing and the internet and how to create content or even code. I talked a little earlier, my son's like in a robotics class at his school. I know nothing about that, but fine. They're teaching it. So I really enjoy making sure people have their skill sets up.
Yeah.
Because ultimately it boils down to your skills can buy your income. Your income buys your assets, but then your assets buy your freedom. And ultimately, that's what most of us are after.
Say that again. Say that again.
Yeah.
I said that your skills, they buy your income. Your income can buy your assets. And then your assets buy your freedom.
Ooh,
That is a bar.
that's going in a short.
Yeah, that's a bar. Like, we like that real bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's real good. Yeah, right? Put that on a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So those just starting out in digital marketing, I told you that I just started. So
Yes.
this is for me. What advice would you give them to build a successful brand in today's environment?
I would say focus on 4 concepts. Okay, number 1 would be visibility. All right. And that's just with any brand. It doesn't even have to be digital, but that's our space right now.
Right.
So you have to be visible. If people don't know that you exist, then there's just no possible way. Okay. Whether it's through advertising, whether it's through social or just organic reach, either way, you got to be visible. Find some unique ways to do that. All right. After you are visible, I think engagement is the next most important thing. So we see that more in terms of community building, right? People will engage people that have like minds, like interests, and things of that sort. And they kind of swarm together to build community, which builds engagement. And through engagement is number 3, which is now leads. Like, I'm big on just traditional marketing, right? In that sense, you've got to have your asset. And in this world, your asset is your list. You've got to have leads, especially from a social media. I think it was a day Facebook or Instagram like went off the grid for a few hours or 30 minutes or something. And people were losing their minds because they need to make posts in order to garner the attention. Whereas those of us that have lists where we're on every day, we're getting people off of social and onto our list. It's just a function of an email that says, hey, Facebook is down today or Instagram is off for 30 minutes, but I've got a special for you that if you go here by 5 o'clock, you can get 30% off, right? And we're still making sales even in the blackness of social media. So the lead flow and the building of the list is the primary focal point, I would say, for someone new. And then lastly, sales come from leads. Okay, so once you have a list, I mean, if you think about it, if you have, let's say, a brick and mortar business, right? Let's say you were a factory of some sort. The asset would be the equipment, right? And the way that your machines work and your building, and people buy because they don't want to have to go and do all of that on their own. You have an apartment building. You're going to sell an apartment building if you have majority occupancy, right? Because it's already cash flowing. So if you have a digital marketing business, if you have a list, an asset, if you wanted to sell your business, people are not just buying your page, they will be buying your asset, which is behind the scenes, which can also demonstrate through analytics, proven percentage of buyers. And that's where I think the real value is in digital marketing. It's not just the face of social, but it's behind in the list building and the ability to make sales.
Okay.
So as a new person, focus on those 4 things.
I will. Those are really, really great. Perfect. So I'm trying to see if I have anything else. The importance of adaptability and staying ahead of trends.
Staying ahead of trends. I don't know. I'm not that good with staying ahead of trends.
Okay.
I'm not like a pioneer in the trend. I watch trends, and sometimes it might take me a while because I'm not even on TikTok. Like, still to this day, I'm not even on TikTok.
Oh, really?
I'm not even on TikTok. I just don't even want to. For me, my bread and butter really is like Facebook, right? I've taken the time to build that. All right. Instagram would be like, well, maybe YouTube would be second. Right? And Instagram is like hanging off on the side. To then add TikTok to that, to me, would take me outside of my core competency, right? I understand the buyers are there. I understand that. I don't knock it. It's not like I hate TikTok. It's that it takes time to learn, to build, to become a master in something. And if I've got to now go over here, I'm already on 3 of these other, I'm already on X, right? With that. So, and that's fallen off, right? Because I just do not have the type of time. Now, there are those tools where it can auto post for you across multiple platforms, but
it's not the same.
It's not the same, right? And it's not the same. Your audience knows it's not the same. And so for me, I'm not the pioneer. I kind of let other people do it, and I'll kind of observe it. I'll review it. I'll read some articles on it or watch some YouTube reviews on it. And if it's something that I feel like I can slide into the mix, then maybe. If not, I just let it be.
Oh, yeah. But don't get scared of TikTok because, like, TikTok builds the algorithm for you.
Okay.
So if you put up a video about digital marketing, your videos are only going to hit the algorithm of people that like or have interest in digital marketing.
Okay.
So you don't have to do too much work of building a community on TikTok.
Okay.
Because TikTok will do that for you.
Okay. Well, that's a plus.
So like my algorithm is nothing but like cooking videos.
Okay.
Stop, I'm about to pray for you. Like that type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So but that's what I look for, and that's all my algorithm. But I could sit next to somebody that I talk to all the time.
Mhm.
Algorithm is completely different.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a plus.
And then think about TikTok too, even though I don't even like it that much, but
You
I
love
will
TikTok.
but I will say this.
Okay.
They have the best discovery algorithm. That's why they don't want to give it away to anybody
Mm-hmm.
because they have the best one. So like but there is one big negative that as somebody that wants to build a business is that you become a slave to their algorithm really, really quickly because it doesn't matter how many followers you have on like a TikTok. You could have 30,000 followers or 5 followers.
Okay.
And if they're really good at saying, oh, that's good. And if you have 5 people, we'll still show it to 1 million people tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Like you can do that a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, they did make some changes. Now they want long form content and all this stuff. I'm about to start putting the podcast on there. I really was thinking about it yesterday. Like,
I can't believe you haven't.
You want 30-minute videos, huh?
Really?
I got 30-minute videos for you. I'm about to think about doing that.
Well, my buddy just filmed Chinese, like he worked on this movie for a Chinese movie for TikTok. They shot the whole thing vertically and the whole thing is going on TikTok. Like
That's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they're leaning into that long form content.
Yeah, they're leaning into it now. They closed down their creator fund recently too.
What do you mean?
Yeah, the creator fund is done. Like their $1 billion creator fund, they closed it down, and now they're trying to put money behind long form content. So I was like,
wow.
Perfect timing. I got episodes.
Now that might be of interest to me because of the long form content.
Yeah, exactly.
It drives me crazy just the 30 seconds, or even if you're able to do clips of long form content, that's fine. But just all day, every day doing a different reel or something like that, that drives me nuts.
Yeah, I mean, well, the longest now from last time I knew was 10 minutes. You could be on TikTok
and do it now.
So that is insane.
Now it could be.
Let me tell you something. My attention span like that. I can't. If I'm watching something and it don't give me the first 5, well, I ain't gonna say that. Maybe at least first 15 seconds, I'm gonna scroll.
Okay.
So to sit and wait 30 minutes into what's gonna happen at the 45-minute mark, I don't got it. I need the beginning must be boom.
So TikTok has built its whole community on just like the short form. So they've made people shorten their attention span to now introduce.
But it will work but that's just my algorithm though. Like if it's something that's not my interest, but I might see somebody about to chop an onion, that video might be an hour. I'm gonna watch that whole video of that. But if you post up, you putting together, well, let me not say that because I like building stuff too. But anything not of my interest, baby, I'm not watching it for an hour. I'm gonna scroll. But if I like it, I'm watching.
You watching?
Build a house, I'm watching it.
Okay, HGTV.
Well, the thing with TikTok too is you guys say it's short form based, but I think it's more trend based. Whereas the problem with TikTok, and you said you become a slave to the algorithm, is let's say I go viral on a trend that I created using a specific sound, right? And how you build a following in TikTok is you lean into that trend. And now I do a different version of the same trend. And now I have 20 posts doing the same exact thing because it keeps popping up on the same people's feed because the song's linked or the sound you use or whatever it is. But if you're build this huge following in comparison to, Facebook or Instagram, where if you want to post a different kind of content in a different type or form, you can still engage with your audience. Whereas in TikTok, if you pop up on someone's For You page after doing 20 of the same trends, trying to do something different, they're just going to swipe. And that's where you lose that engagement on all those posts because they're liking your post because the trend.
You're doing. That's like this guy named Trill. He has like probably hundreds of videos with the same sound, doing the same dance with just a different like word on top of it. But he eats the dance. Like the trip dance, you know what I'm talking about, Zach?
What's it called?
The trip dance is like, I can't do it. It's like, I don't even know like who be doing it. It's a New Orleans thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
all his like videos. I didn't want you to pull it up.
I got you.
Pull up the Trip video. His name is Trill.
Trill
on TikTok. I watch his videos on my face like this, and I'm like, you did another one? But he has millions of views doing the exact same thing. It's pretty crazy to say the least.
What's his name on TikTok?
His name is Trill. Hold on.
Trill?
Yep.
What we got?
It's Travis. Travis 2 Official. That's his name. This boy, all his videos, literally the same sound. Same sound.
And how many does he have?
It don't say how many posts he got, but he got 3.2 million likes of a.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you the count of posts.
Oh, okay.
It don't. But all his videos is him doing this. Like, you about to post it? I mean, show it on the big screen.
Travis 2 Official?
2 Official, yeah.
Like
the number 2.
Okay.
And all he do is this dance. And it's actually kind of one of my favorite dances. And I like the song. But it's the dance. And all he do is this. Do all the videos. All the videos.
So he just do it in different places, different backgrounds, different clothes.
That's it. And different stuff on it. And do the same dance. It's crazy. And it's a new trend. But he do the trip. They call him the Trip King. It's all he do. It's another one. Same sound.
Oh, here it is.
Tripping.
There he is.
There you go.
Okay.
Look, all he freaking do is trip. That's it. That's all he do. He just move his hips. That's it. And now he move his hands. But he do it in every video. Same sound, same dance, different words.
See, if he tried to do a different dance, different sound.
He would lose his algorithm.
Yeah.
Like, he would lose his, like, the engagement he was getting.
See what I say?
Yeah, it's a slave.
To the algorithm.
Yeah.
Whatever you start with, you
Look, he added a baby. But he tripping with the baby.
literally
Tripping with the baby, girl. Like, it's crazy. Insane to say the least. I don't know. Yep, that's Buddy. So, yes. Well, you know what? I really enjoyed you here.
Thank you. I enjoyed
Any last things you wanted to say?
I wanted to just say this has been really, really fun. And just being able to sit down and talk about things that are of mutual interest. And both of you guys, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you for
are
having
too,
me.
Tracy. Yes, no, for sure. We'll definitely do this again. Guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be back here again next Sunday at 9:00. Bye.
Peace.
I'm the one that you should call when you learn to code. Success follow me around if you didn't know. From the bottom, so the top, the only way to go. Yeah, man, they call me Mr. CTO. I'm the one that you should call when you learn to code. Success follow me around if you didn't know. From the bottom, so the top, the only way to go. Got in this game from a humble beginning, but now we win and came up.